Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
I've fought with warriors in my time. They were far stronger than all of us put together, and they died. They died facing enemies and threats that scared me far less than this one. Everything that they sacrificed will be for nothing if we do not stand together. Put aside your petty squabbles. And presume nothing except this. If you return, you will return as brothers and sisters. But mark my words. We're going to need a miracle.
Hey, pal.
It's not possible.
That was amazing.
Welcome, everybody, to Age of Radio. Mercury, your home for technical difficulties and awesomeness, where Trey and I give you technical difficulties and awesomeness, and we also do stupid things like this. That was amazing! Actually, I don't know how I feel about Avengers Doomsday, but we're going to jump in that today in today's episode. Some exciting stuff happening in this episode. Not only Avengers Doomsday, we can see everything that's going on at San Diego Comic-Con 2026. We're going to talk about everything that Marvel announced at San Diego Comic-Con 2026. And there was a new, I guess, what was it? Research paper that was published, white paper that was published by AMP or AMP, the AMP Accords. And it gives us a definition of a podcast. And I think that it is an accurate definition of a podcast. We're trying to kind of decide on a definition of a podcast. And there's some of it I like, some of it I don't like. But before we jump into that, Trey, how has your week been, sir?
My week's been pretty good. I started working on Scriptate again for the first time in a while. I decided to change the pricing. I'm moving it from $20 after a week to a $2 flat charge. So,
yay! That's, you know what that is, Trey? That is
amazing.
So why are you lowering the price? Just to get people more not maybe more interested into it, get people to buy it more, or what's going on?
So I think that maybe having $20 might have been a bit of a sticker shock for the type of app that I want, or not want, that I was doing. I think that $2.99 is probably better, and something right off the cut so they don't see the, free app and then 7-day free trial, yada yada. You get the idea.
Yep.
So, and then I think that $2.99 will hopefully bring more people in.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really cool, Trey. I had a fantastic week. Just got off the New Wealth Transfer podcast. If you don't know what that is, it's a podcast for myself and Coach JV. and Coach Jackie and May and the rest of the coaches at the 3T Warrior Academy. We jump on and talk about everything that's going on in the crypto marketplace and the economy in the United States and other economies, and we deep dive on our takes on what's going on. And more importantly, I get to sit down with some of my friends and have just some fun discussions, which is the reason why I like doing this show with Trey. I also have a new segment called the Markets Radar. It's going to be its own new feed, apart from the Age of Jeremy feed, but right now it's on the Age of Jeremy feed. So go check out Age of Jeremy wherever you get your podcast, and you can get Markets Radar. It comes out on Tuesdays and on Saturdays, so I can hit the beginning of the week and the end of the week news. And then my regular episode, Age of Jeremy, which is all about my business adventures and side quests, that goes live on Wednesdays. And then, of course, we're here on Mercury, and we have a lot of really cool Mercury stuff in store for you. I don't want to announce it all yet because we're finalizing it. But one thing I will announce is we are going to be at Tucson Comic Con. So that deserves one of these down. Oh, no, I'm not in the right spot. I wish I had a Dustin over here to run all this crap for me on the back end. Or let me see here. Okay, we're going to be at Tucson Comic Con. I don't know if that was the right one. Maybe it's this one. That was right. Okay, we're going to be at Tucson Comic Con. We are going to be part of media. We're going to have a running gun show. So if you watched our WonderCon episodes, you can go check those out on YouTube, which might be where you're watching this at. It's specifically going to be on the Mercury by Age of Radio YouTube channel. So go and check that out, and go and check out how we did WonderCon. It's a live run and gun show. So we're going to be in the middle of the vendor hall, but because we have media passes, we're probably going to be able to interview some of the other guests. And I'm also working on a conversation with Danny Marianino. He's going to be a guest at Tucson Comic Con, but we're also going to try to get him on my Age of Jeremy show as well. We interviewed him at the Phoenix Zoo last year on Mercury, and he talked about his Night of the Gabagool. And so that's what I think was really, really exciting, is to have Danny back on the show, because he has a new book about a new Gaba something. It's an Italian thing. And you know how I like hanging out with my Italians. Trey, where's your background from? Are you from Europe, or what's going on with that? Where's that? Where are you from? You German? What's happening here?
I have distant roots to possibly Ireland and possibly Norway, but I haven't done like one of the tests that tells you exactly. But
yeah, I'm as white as they come. Half of me is white as they come, and the other half of me is as Spanish as they come, as my father is, from El Salvador, in case anybody didn't know that. So I'm El Salvadoran. Trey, how long is your family, is your family's been in the United States a long time?
I think I'm like the third or fourth generation on both ends. Not sure exactly.
Nice. Well, let's talk about generations as it relates to the Avengers Doomsday official trailer in theaters, December 18th. Trey, what was your first take on that trailer?
So, it's kind of hard to see. But I thought that was very interesting, because I thought I heard Robert Downey Jr.'s voice, and I was under the impression that he was going to play Doom, but the way Thor reacted, it sounded like he knew him. I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to get Iron Man in this movie. I would love it if we did.
Trey, it was Chris Evans that Thor meets at the end. Chris Evans shows back up to fight Doomsday, it looks like. Or Captain America shows back up. Oh,
okay. Gotcha. That makes sense.
So this is my problem with the whole movie, is it looks like to captivate people, they literally needed to just bring back all of the people from the original first 10 years into one movie to get audiences back. Which means that I feel that Disney and or Marvel did a horrible job building up new heroes over these last 10 years or 7 years or whatever time frame it's been.
I think that you're probably right, and I think that it's probably I'm going to be frank. I think it's probably a last-ditch effort. They have not had what could be called a what do you call it? What was the last Avengers movie? The last big one.
Well, the last big Avengers movie was technically Thunderbolts, which was the new Avengers, because they're the Avengers in this Avengers. So I technically think it would be Thunder, which I liked. And then before that, it was not the Infinity Stones, but the Endgame.
Endgame. That's it. They haven't had an Endgame or even close to Endgame levels box office filling. I think part of that is Dieter's fault. I'll be real. But they haven't had anything like that since 2018. And I think that with a lot of their budgets and stuff like that, they want something that is going to fill the seat. So they want people nostalgic.
Correct. And I think that that's the problem that I have with it. I don't personally have a problem with some of the movies that they've made over these last couple of years. I just think that they went too hard into Disney Plus and making all of those shows. And I think people have superhero fatigue at this point in time. And we're really not getting a lot of good, I mean, people want to go to the movies for action. They want to have summer blockbusters. I get that part of it. But we have gone into this weird realm of where we're not making really good cinematic movies anymore from like an acting perspective, from a cinematography perspective, unless you're a nerd and then like me, and then you're going to try to find these things out. There are no big movies. I feel like, I mean, I guess there's the Odyssey that just came out, which I'm sure I'll like, but I'm not a huge Christopher Nolan fan in general, except for his Batman. And some of the more like I thought Tenet was really, really good, but that wasn't like a blockbuster, success or anything that I'm aware of. And Oppenheimer was a really good movie. Other than that, I could take Christopher Nolan or leave him. And so I think that we have something like that it's going to blow the box office away, and then also be a really good movie. But I feel like the thing that was cool about the first 10 years of Marvel was some of their movies were like really, really good. Like Captain America, the Winter Soldier was just a really, really good movie. It could have been a non-superhero movie, the concept of it, and it could have been a really good movie. And we don't get that anymore from Marvel because they're all over the place. And then obviously they changed. I think one of the problems that happened is when the gentleman that was playing Kang got into his charges and they cut him from Disney, and then they had to rethink what they were doing. And so now they're trying to get back on track.
I could see that being a possibility.
All right. So Trey, what do you know about San Diego Comic-Con? Have you ever been there?
No.
I'm trying to get oh, go ahead, Trey.
I know that there's a lot of stuff going on there this week, but I have never. I've seen people talk about going, but I've never gone.
Yeah. Would you ever go to something like that, or would it be too much?
It would depend. I would probably need to have somewhere to retreat to at some point.
Yeah, I know. When you came to and did the library with us, we freaking annihilated you that day, and we didn't hardly do anything. Well, also too, we're a bit much because we're all over the place.
It was fine. I think it was mostly the fact that I didn't bring enough water or something like that, because I think I just had, like, the heat annihilated me.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think what we should do, Trey, is I should buy an ice chest and then fill it with stuff for people, because I can go like the whole day without drinking or eating or doing anything at all. And so, I mean, like, as far as like work, I can just work straight and completely forget about it because I usually do that. I think maybe the next time that we do something, we should try to get an ice chest. I think that would maybe be helpful. Maybe we should do that for Tucson Comic-Con, even though you're not going to be there.
It definitely might not be a bad idea. You guys might have a hard time since you don't have a booth, but possibly.
So we can just get a rolly one. We can just roll it around. I think that might work. Is if we just roll it around. Trey, do you know how the hell I upload a picture in here? I can't find. I have backgrounds. I have loops. I have overlays, but I don't have just where I can throw up. Oh, I know. I got it. I figured it out. I wanted to share a cool image file with everybody that I got from someone that we know from the show. All right.
Ooh,
see
exciting.
Here. Oh, there's Jinx. She's at Nintendo something in San Diego Comic-Con. She's actually working there for Nintendo. But I feel like she was selling resorts, and now is that like a game? Like, I don't know if you can see behind you, but it says sports resort game something or other.
That is a game. It's a new. It's like Wii Sports, but it's Nintendo Switch Sports Resort.
If you guys don't know, Jinx is part of the Mercury team. She comes in and out of the show,
Still there,
but she
Jeremy?
is a what?
Jeremy, I think you're either
What
my
happened?
audio's cooked or.
I don't know what happened. I'm still talking, or you cannot hear me. I can hear you.
Oh my gosh, my flippin' computer activated dictation mode. I apologize.
Yes, I love it. That's the best part of this show, are all the technical difficulties. I keep telling that to people. Jinx is part of our live Mercury show that we do. So if you want to come and see this beautiful Filipina woman, she will be with us at Tucson Comic Con, and she's a big part of the thing that we're doing after that, which I'm really excited for because we have a lot of great stuff in store. But let's get Jinx off of the screen here, and let's go ahead and get talking a little bit about what is going on at San Diego Comic-Con as it relates to Marvel. So Marvel Wolverine Deep Cuts panel in Hall H Insomniac Games surprised fans with a brand new story trailer for Marvel's Wolverine, which opened with a confrontation between an enraged Logan and Jean Grey. So let's check out this new trailer, and that button's not working, so we're going to have to beat the call.
Logan, it's me. Wait.
You came back. I've seen this before.
Humans and mutants can't survive together.
Get that person out of here.
I've tried to keep them safe for so long.
Fucking rats.
Inside, now!
I thought you were back. We were back. We're gonna build a future for mutants. That is why you belong here. Tear the beast. The hunt is ready.
Most people I see clearly. But you.
Just give in!
Remember who you are.
You know what that deserves, Trey?
Can't let a man rest.
Amazing.
No. Deserves one of these.
The police are coming after Wolverine.
I don't know. I just wanted to do that. All right, Trey, what do you think? Yay or nay on Wolverine? You're a big Insomniac Games fan.
I am a big Insomniac Games fan, and I'm also a very big Insomniac superhero games fan. Spider-Man is one of my favorite games as well. That they did it better than Spider-Man 2 on the PS2, which is high accolades if you've ever played that game.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited. I hope that they give you the ability to ride the motorbike and use like a grappling hook to hook onto the buildings and do that sort of fun stuff. I think it's going to be really fun. I think it is. What do you think?
That's awesome. I'm not a huge Wolverine fan, but I'm probably I am gonna pick up this game because this actually looks game, and the more that I do stuff with you, I'm becoming a more fan of Insomniac Games. So I'm excited about that. And they're also doing Marvel Token Fighting Souls behind the battle panel. Phoenix Cyclops, voiced by Ray Chase, will be the first additional character joining a Marvel Token Fighting Souls as part of the game's year one plan. Inspired by his Phoenix 5 incarnation in Avengers vs. X-Men 2012, this version of Cyclops sports a bold new look infused with the fiery cosmic power of the Phoenix Force. Game producers Takashi Yamanaka and localization director Amber Seitz, both from Art Systems Works, also discussed the game's high-octane anime opening, combine the spirit of classic fighting games with the charm and energy of beloved anime opening from the early 2000s. Let's take a look at Phoenix Cyclops for Marvel Token Fighting Souls. That's just what really ain't working.
Listen to me.
You will do nothing but reduce everyone to ash.
No, I can control it for long enough to do what I have to.
Oh, that is actually
I
pretty
will
sick.
save mutant kind.
Oh, that looks
The
awesome.
new age of the Phoenix begins now.
Where do you hold on? I want to pause this. Where do you get this game? Because I was going to check it out. We should have it at our booth in that special place that I'm not going to say. That sounds really bad when I say it that way. Sounds like we're talking about a no-no zone. Where do you play? Is it on PlayStation? Is this like how do you play this game, Trey? What do you know about it?
I think you have to have a PlayStation 5 or maybe a PlayStation Portal if it's included in PlayStation Plus.
Nah. Yeah, okay. All right, some of the other stuff coming from San Diego Comic-Con for Marvel. NetEase Games and Marvel Games Media made a series of Marvel Rivals announcements, spotlighting upcoming game content, collaborations, and more coming in 2026. As a critical acclaimed superhero team-based PvP shooter continues to roll out new game modes inspired by Marvel Studios' Avengers movies, fans got a first look at the new Path to Doomsday Avengers Age of Ultron PvE mode, launching on July 30th. Oh, this one worked.
There is only one path to peace: the Avengers' extinction.
Good.
Have you ever played Marvel Rivals, Trey?
No, I haven't. I think it's a free game too. I just hero shooters and shooting games and I don't mix.
I understand. How's this? Oh, sweet. This is kind of cool. Again, this button doesn't work.
I'm assuming this is a merch shop.
Yeah, I think it's their entire booth. That is
Looks
specifically the
pretty
gift
sick.
shop. Said gift shop. That's cool. It's like we were there.
Also, that video is in the craft doc as well, Jeremy. We can skip that now that we've seen it.
What video?
There was a video in the craft doc. That one that we just saw was that one.
Oh, nice. Because it was like we were really there. It was like I could reach out and touch things that were there.
They were very textured.
Yeah, they were very textured. I don't know. They do some pretty cool stuff at those events. Cons are like my favorite thing ever since I went to my very first conference. I mean, obviously you go to Fan Fusion, but I started going to UwuCon a couple of years ago, which I have some really cool news about that we're going to announce here in a couple of weeks. But let's see everything else that's going on at San Diego Comic-Con. We have Avengers Secret Wars isn't a full MCU reboot. Kevin Feige says the arrival of Dr. Doom and Avengers Doomsday is only months away, but fans are already asking questions about Avengers Secret Wars. The next Avengers film after Doomsday is set to pave the way for massive changes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but don't call it a reboot. Following comments about the comic inspiration for Secret Wars, Marvel boss Kevin Feige is giving a little more insight into just exactly what the MCU will look like after the sixth Avengers film is released in 2027. Feige recently denied that the MCU will undergo a reboot during an interview with Happy, Sad, Confused Joshua Horowitz. He notes that, as always, Marvel is taking inspiration from the comics, particularly the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars from 10 years ago, and that's a nice roadmap to where we can go. So, guys, check out the Hickman's Secret Wars so you kind of know what's coming in store for that. Let's see what else is going on here at San Diego Comic-Con. Archie Andrews is going to hell. That actually sounds really fun. Did you ever watch the Archie or read the Archie comics?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, me neither. I have no interest in that, but I have an interest in him going down to hell.
That would
Archie
be
Andrews
interesting.
they should turn this into a show. That would be a fun show rather than whatever the hell they created before. Archie Andrews has dealt with more than the typical teenage problems over the years. He survived a zombie apocalypse, been hunted by the predator, and weathered a sharknado. Now he's going to hell. I don't know if this is that Archie, but I'm going to assume that it is for fun. Afterlife with Archie, a spiritual successor, Archie in Hell. Now Polygon can share the exclusive lurk at the wild new turn. Archie in Hell will be written by multiple Eisner Award nominee Patrick Horvath and Russ Manning Award winner Tyler Crook out of Alcatraz, Harrow County. Getting the opportunity to work on this book has been a series of pleasant surprises, said writer Patrick Horvath. When Hunter Gorison and Sierra Hahn from Oni mentioned the possibility to me, it happened to line up pretty perfectly with my schedule, and now we're getting Archie Goes to Hell. I'm assuming it's Archie from the Archie comics. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
No. We should go. You go research that. Stop everything that you're doing, Trey, and make that your main focus in life. That's what you were thinking right now. Trey, Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars only because I really haven't gotten into Star Trek. Like I just haven't really watched a lot of the stuff.
All right, Lego Star Trek 60th anniversary set revealed, showcasing the Enterprise bridge. Star Trek turned 60 this year as the original series debuted in 1966. Lego is celebrating Star Trek birthday by partnering with Paramount for Lego's second set based on the franchise and the first that showcases the crew of the original USS Enterprise NCC-1701. The set recreates two iconic Enterprise interiors, the bridge and the transporter room. It comes complete with various computer stations, a screen showing a Lego Klingon warrior, a rockable captain's chair, and turbo lift doors that you can open with the press of a button. That sounds pretty amazing. Should we do anything more with this Lego set? Trey, I saw a Donkey Kong Lego set. Did you see that?
I did not see that. This does look pretty cool, though. I have not. What did the Donkey Kong one look like?
Looks like his little lair where you're like bouncing him and moving him around where the barrels are coming at him, you know, like the original game. Like the very original game. Yeah, and you there's a joystick and you can actually move it or something. I was thinking maybe we buy one of those and we get people to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So wherever you're watching this, go subscribe to Mercury by Age of Radio, and maybe we'll start doing some gifts to get more people to subscribe, watch, share, and listen. I don't know. That was my thought.
That is a really cool idea. Actually, I think it would be cool to go up to people and ask them if they've played Donkey Kong before, and if they haven't, have them play the game if it includes the game, and like do so, like a shout out or something if they actually win.
Yeah. Absolutely. So some of the other things, Zach Krieger's Resident Evil got a new trailer. So you guys are going to want to check that out. Percy Jackson Season 3 finally has a release date. Were you a big Percy Jackson fan at all?
I've read the first two books. The movie or the show's not bad, though.
I'm really excited about this, but I think we have another article for that. So everybody stay tuned to talk about this piece right here. This I am super excited about. The other thing that I'm excited about, Trey, is I saw on Amazon some of the new Ghost in the Shell, like the new show. Have you seen any of that, Trey?
No, I haven't.
I was going to watch it, but we're trying to finish Bloodhounds, which is Maria got me into K-dramas. Like, so I've been watching a lot of K-dramas and trying to watch a lot of anime, you know, if we're going to really go into the convention space and which we have a big lineup of cool stuff planned, which I'll announce later. I really want to dive deeper to be able to know more. But that takes a lot of time watching a lot of stuff, I feel like.
That is true.
For its 50th anniversary, Star Wars is retelling the original trilogy. The 50th anniversary of Star Wars is just around the corner, and Lucasfilm is pulling out all the stops to celebrate the legendary original trilogy that gave birth to a galaxy-changing franchise beloved by millions around the globe. Disney's 50th anniversary plans aren't just beholden to putting the original film out on IMAX at your local theater. Trey, what theaters do you have in where you're at? You're in Billings? Where are you at? No.
Great Falls.
Great Falls. I keep forgetting that.
And we have one theater, AMC 10.
Yeah. Is it a clean AMC? I went to AMC last week to see Scary Movie 6. It was horrible.
It's I would say it's clean. Yeah,
That's good.
not bad.
Ours was not.
That always sucks.
It was
You know,
gross,
there's
Trey.
always
It was real. The seats were sticky. Like I sat down.
Oh no!
And like it was like because Scary Movie 6 was leaving theaters, it was like in one of the smaller like the as they're getting ready to push a movie out theaters. And like we sat down, chairs were like worse than this chair that I'm sitting in now. And I put my hand down on the thing and it was just super sticky. It was so gross. And I'm a shareholder of AMC. I'm an AMC like main thing. I like going to Harkins better because they have lemon juice, and as a Spanish person, I prefer lemon juice on my popcorn, and they don't have that at the AMC theaters.
Lemon juice on popcorn.
Trey, when we go, I'm gonna go sneak in lemon juice. This is what we'll do. When I come to Great Falls, which I'm coming in November, so I can freeze my ass off. I'm coming in November to be cold and to go shoe snowing with you, whatever the hell that's called. And we should do some Black Diamond skiing.
Oh, you can count me out on that one.
No, Trey, it would be so. No, what we can do is you can be the driver and I can be your eyes and try to tell you where to go. And I'll strap myself onto you somehow, and then I'll be like, Trey, you got to go left, and then you have to move left.
No way in hell. Where's the scream sound effect?
Oh yeah, that would be a perfect time for the scream sound effect. Hold on, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at?
Yeah, that's a really long one. Remember?
It just Trey. That one just plays as long as the buttons clicked. Watch. Hold on. Oh no, it doesn't. It does have an ending.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, going back to this, where we're at Lucasfilms Publishing San Diego Comic-Con panel this year, the company revealed a long list of upcoming books for fans of all ages and genre preferences, but let's be honest, the emphasis is clearly on the original trilogy. Star Wars Zero Company cast reunites, the Clone Wars actors, go check that out. First official Avatar Seven Heavens trailer cannot be more exciting for Airbender fans. Trey, do we have a clip? This is the thing that you like?
I do like this stuff. It's a new series, but I think we have another. I don't know if the trailer will be on there, but we also have another article for this as well.
Man, we have a lot of articles. I'm slowing down here. Hold on, what else is going on? Star Wars Rey's unreleased show will finally be available to watch. Larian could return to Baldur's Gate 3 with new iconic series. Indiana Jones returns in 2026, and yes, I love Indiana Jones movies. They can just keep making these forever. I'm so excited. Love Indiana Jones. New X-Men team to replace the Avengers. Johnny Depp goes full Misfit. Okay, there's so much stuff here. Go check out this article. These articles are in our Discord, so go check them out. I think Trey puts them in there, so that's good. So go to our Discord. If you don't know, you can just go discord.gg/Age of Radio, and it will take you right there. And you can come in and do all of the fun stuff that we have in store for you that we're working to make even better as part of the Age of Radio. Age of Radio, if you don't know, is a podcast. Actually, it's a media company, and we have the Age of Radio podcast network. So head on over to ageofradio.com to check all that out. We have one big article that I want to do before we go into what's going on in the community, because this is the thing that I rant about and do this to all the freaking time. This is either going to be the happiest day of my life or the most pissing off most day of my life. One of those things are going to happen right now. All right, so AMP Records published what it calls the first cross-platform measurement standard in history. The document defines a podcast and aims to set implementation standards for attribution and exposure metrics. Oh my gosh, I don't know what just disappeared. I don't know what just happened. This happened once before. It's because we do two. Oh my gosh, look, there's my green screen. Look how cool I look. I love this show. This is the best show ever. Best show in freaking history. I have
I
no
think
idea what happened. No idea what happened to
I
this
think your camera might have died. Do you have extra
No,
batteries
it's still
for it?
on. I'm looking at it right now, Trey. Looking right at it. Something happened with the black magic. Do we have Black Magic Woman? We should get some more music. I'm gonna load up a bunch of stupid sound clips into this show.
Fair enough.
Hold on. What did I do? How did I move? Ooh. This I'm telling you, technical difficulties for this show is freaking crazy. Okay, well, we got this part.
Oh,
look,
there
I'm back
you
with my
are.
green screen. Speaking of green screens, I don't know why there's only 2 green screen things in here. Hold on, let me see. Here, let's go. I'm going to do this one now. No, I like the block screen. I think it should have graffiti on it, though. I literally have no idea what happened. All right, well, let's get to this because I'm super excited because you can go download this document. I'm going to read through this because I love podcasting. It's my favorite thing on the planet. And I have mixed emotions about this definition, Trey. Have you read the definition?
I have not read the definition yet.
All right. So essentially what this document's trying to do is there's a lot of problems inside of the podcasting world. A couple of them is because there's not really IAB, which is the Interactive Advertising Bureau. They have standards that they try to set to say what counts as a download, what counts as a stream count, what counts as an advertising, an impression, and so forth. And so one of the things that's happened over the years is because there's so many podcast companies, a lot of these things have been kind of like changed. For example, Spotify has moved away from the IAB standard of what counts as a download. Now, if you're listening on Spotify and you listen for 30 seconds, it counts as a specific download. I think for IAB, if I'm not mistaken, it's like a minute or something, and there has to be a 24-hour period of that IP address not hitting that download again or that podcast again to count as a second specific download. And so what AMP is trying to do here is they're trying to relook at what it looks like for some standardization, especially because we're moving into a new realm of podcasting, especially with streaming. So I have mixed opinions on this. But if you want to go download this, I recommend, if you're really into podcasting like we are, go read this, maybe take the document, download the PDF. I don't know, Adobe's AI will turn it into a podcast for you and you can listen to it, which is interesting. But if we go down here, this is one of the biggest problems that we have is what counts as a podcast. So before I dive into it, for me personally, a podcast specifically, in my definition of it, is something that can be distributed vis-a-vis an RSS feed. So that means we have a platform that we upload the content to. It creates a URL that's part of the RSS feed. And you can take that URL and you could put it in a bunch of different distribution platforms. So you can go to one platform, upload the content, and then that content gets sent out to all of the places where that URL is. So Trey, would you say that that's a podcast, or what are your thoughts before we do this?
I do think that's a podcast, and I would say that if it doesn't have RSS included in some way, shape, or form, it's not a podcast. That's just my opinion.
Okay. All right, so here we go. So if we go down to page 19, the first thing, the definition of a podcast. Podcasting spent most of its existence without a formal definition. I don't agree with that, but we'll just go down. All right. If we look at this, this is the definition. You ready?
Yep.
A podcast is an on-demand show rooted in the spoken word and fully intelligible as audio, typically episodic and conversational. Podcasts cover wide-ranging themes and formats, but here's the key. They are accessed as audio or video via open RSS feeds and other distribution methods. So all of you out there, F you or something, who didn't, I don't know.
They're after you.
All right, so we were essentially right in what our definition was. They've just kind of tried to do my problem with it is when does something not count for account for just two people sitting down and talking and putting something out there. And I think that the key is the way in which it's distributed.
I think that is the main point. Yeah. And it's weird because before you said that it had to be an RSS feed, I was kind of bracing because that's like, at what point does Larry B become a podcast?
Right. That's what my argument is. There has to be something, but if you go down though, it says if it works with your eyes closed, it's a podcast, which I get. Yeah. But like we take this show and we distribute it everywhere people get podcasts as a podcast where people can just listen to audio. But what we're doing right now is a live stream, but technically it's also a podcast because it is distributed via RSS feed. But I don't know. That's the shorthand we expect will be the practical foundation of heuristic upon which decision-making and classification is executed. But I think that this does a few things. One, I think this is important, and I'll turn it over to you, Trey, for your thoughts. One, I think that this is important is because podcasting is getting to become a major thing. And this is the first attempt to now make it a much more mature segment of the economy.
I would agree. I am curious if Netflix or any of these companies is going to, I suppose Netflix could just be like a solo, like the only one able to access some of the stream or the podcasts that it hosts. But I could see some companies having a bit of an issue with this.
Yeah, no, I agree. So one of the cool things here that I liked about this is why I wanted to read it too is like you can think of the different bodies here. So this is, if you really are interested in podcasting, like because I love podcasting, it's my favorite thing. I love radio, I love podcasting, I love creating content. I feel that my voice could be better for radio because I'm always screaming and high pitched and all kinds of stuff. But if we look at this, IAB is the authoritative codifier for the digital advertising industry. MRC similarly helps drive widespread adoption and consistency. And then you have research companies like Edison, Sounds, PwC, others, Pod News, and Profitable, which consistent application by specialist research reporters and consultative experts will create more standardized, reliable, comparable data and perspectives. Then you have the platforms in which it's demonstrated, and eventually ours will be up there, Spotify. And then you have Magellan AI, which I'm interested. These are the big things that I'm focusing on right now, because one of the other biggest problems is like mega data comes from different sources to all the different platforms. And I don't think Spotify does a really good job giving data and the data that you could usually really need. And I think we're going to start seeing a lot of other companies that come in here that have a better understanding of how to take in those pieces, aggregate all that data into one dashboard, kind of like how Merlin works for cryptocurrency. And then you could get much better analytics on what's happening with your podcast. Because I just don't think that Megaphone has personally good analytics. And that's just my personal opinion. That's why this is one of the biggest things for me right now, deep diving as we move forward in, Age of Radio Podcast Network. And then you can go on, and there's some other things down here. Trey, do you have any other thoughts or anything you want to add to this?
I think that this is, much needed. I genuinely hope that everybody adopts this, but other than that, nothing.
All right. Well, Trey, I'm going to kick it over to you. What do we have going on in the community and what's going on in the world?
All right. So
world, I guess.
We're doing some movement in the Discord. I need to get back into doing trivia questions. I will start that back up this coming week. And then we have our gaming time our gaming night that we are working on a good schedule for. And then we have our anime roundtable starting this upcoming month, August. Yeah. Where we talk about anime, and we can talk about what was the anime you mentioned?
Dawn to Dawn.
Dawn to Dawn. I probably will not watch.
Trey, that was so okay. So I was like, okay, with the situation with where we're going in our company, I like really took a hard look at my life and was like, I need to make time to spend on some of these big things that are happening in the pop culture space. Okay. And I love pulp culture. Like it is pulp culture, gaming, comics, art, like anything that is pop culture related is something that I genuinely love. And I want us to be so strong in that area as we build Age of Radio into $1 billion ecosystem that you just got to put in that time. So I made a list. I was like, what literally are all the podcasts that I absolutely need to see? And one of the ones that came back was Dawn to Dawn. So when I was doing laundry, I was like, okay, let me put on an English dubbed version of Dawn to Dawn. It was the weirdest thing. It was so weird. It was just weird out the gate. Like it was good, but it was just so weird.
Yeah, I've heard that it's just out there as all get out. Mostly because I listen to anime ciphers and that protagonist is kind of a nut.
Yeah.
But also Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, if we get a chance. And it's getting close to the fall game or anime releases. So we got to talk about that too. What are you doing?
I don't know. Just waving my hands in the air. I don't know.
And then next month we're going to start monthly. That is the plan, right? Monthly X Spaces.
Yes, we are going. Well, I was thinking, yes, once a month X Spaces as a feature that's a part of Mercury, so that people have something special either in the space or in the podcast space. And then I have a bunch of other ideas because we're taking Mercury to the moon. That'd be weird. Just Mercury blast off. I don't know. That's the plan anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So we have an X Spaces. Look forward to that. We'll probably be talking about. I gotta watch Avengers when it comes out. Spider-Man. Like, there's a bunch of movies coming out.
Yeah, and you haven't seen Supergirl yet.
I told you that I watched it.
Oh, you did watch it? I thought you didn't watch it.
No, I watched it.
I thought you said you didn't watch it, but you could. That's what.
I did.
Oh, for the love of! Did you like it?
I did. I thought that it was a little bit poorly paced, but I liked it. The actors and the actress did very well.
Mm-hmm. When is Spider-Man out?
I think it's going to be out it might be out today. I'm not sure.
Maria said she wanted to go see Spider-Man. I'm more of a DC person, but I don't like, again, I wish we had someone else running DC right now, but that's just my personal opinion. Like, I don't not like the movies, but I don't love them. Like, you know what? Like, he did such, like, they found someone who did a thing that was really good, right? His version of Suicide Squad, and then Peacemaker, really good, fantastic. And they're like, oh, he did really good at these. Let's give him the entire fucking franchise. And now it feels like just every movie's the same. But I'm going to digress, Trey. I'm sorry. It's your time to talk.
No, you're fine. We can a little bit. I feel like it is, this is something inside the entire film industry. And again, I got to go back, and I won't harp on this for too long, but I feel like the entire film industry as a whole has forgotten the whole kill your darling requirement. Because right now they're including stuff that they really don't need to, and it's actually like actively taking away. And other than that, like, yes, it's hitting a lot of the same type of superhero type beats that a lot of others are, in my opinion. But we can talk about more superhero stuff on the X Spaces, and I think that's about it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, getting in, you guys can go check out Merlin for 30 days for free. We just added in an MCP client, so now you can connect your Merlin account to Claude and to OpenAI and ask it all kinds of questions about your portfolio. So go and check that out. And also, Joey at the Geek Collective, one of the companies that's also partnered with Age of Radio, is now working on its second edition of I Need Your Skin. So let's take a look at that. All right. Well, that was I Need Your Skin. It told us nothing about what was going on in the show. I'm gonna have to talk to Joey about his videos here. I'm just joking. I Need Your Skin, book 2 of 3 is a 28-page horror comics created and produced by Joey Galvez, written and co-created by Alan Dunford, and art by Brian Belando. And Brian Belando's art for this is one of my favorite things. I love the way that he did the coloring inside of this book. It's one of my favorite things that I love so much. But this is the second issue. We're working on getting the first issue of I Need Your Skin in the stores. We're also working on setting up a shop where we can sell them online as well vis-a-vis our YouTube channel. So it would be very helpful if you could subscribe to Mercury, if you could share it with some people to kind of subscribe to it, because we need to get to 300 people so that we could start adding a store. And then you can get Trey's awesome shirt, which is hanging on like a barnacle on the rock. Don't forget, I did not forget that. I'm trying to make it an entire thing. It's going to be amazing. And it's going to be amazing. Dustin's never around when you actually need him. Fucking A. There we go. Amazing. Excuse my language. This is a kid's show. But go on over to Kickstarter, and you can go ahead and get access to all the great Kickstarters that Geek Collective has going on. But you can get everything Geek Collective related if you go to linktree.ee at Geek Collective. We're not good with links on this show either. Some of the things that we need to continue to be better at. But you can head on over there and you can find everything Geek Collective related. This is what that link tree looks like. So they have I Need Your Skin going on right here. They have, this is for mature content. Look at those big old chest right there. Definitely for mature content on this. The contract you can go check out. And we're also working on Brackish 1 and 2. So Geek Collective not only makes its own comic books, but it also does PR for comic books and help them get their shows across the finish line. But again, this one's for 18 plus, and we're a kids family friendly show. Trey, go ahead, Trey.
I'm so impressed with the how well these comic books have been going. And if you guys want to get into something that's going to be huge, Geek Collective is going to be huge. I can tell you right now that. And Divination, it's Divination Comics, right, Jeremy?
Yep, Divination Comics. And Joey and I are working on a lot of stuff. Again, it just has to do with a lot of time. And then we're also working on some really big stuff as it relates to conferences where there's partnerships with Geek Collective and what we're doing. And so, and also with some really large comic conferences here already in Arizona, which we'll be announcing those here shortly and be working to have some guests on here from some of the cool things that we have going on. But if you're in the Arizona metropolitan area or in Great Falls, mainly in Great Falls, we'll tell people where I'm just kidding. We won't tell people where you live, but you can see Trey in Great Falls. But in the Arizona metropolitan area, we're working on making this our name really big here in Arizona. And then we'll expand out from there. But we have a lot of great stuff in store.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can tell right now that Geek Collective is going to be huge.
Yep. All right. Getting on to some other podcast news. In January, Podcast News Daily reported on Podcast Ad Block, a podcast tool that removed ads from podcasts, selling ad-free copies of shows. It was written by developer, adventurer, and entrepreneur Ben Bowler, who by May had pulled the tool down. Today, Podcast News Daily, or at least on July 22nd, they discovered he's back with Podtastic, a podcast app that skips the ads for $2.99 a month, none of which goes back to the creators, but up to 30% of the money will go to Apple or Google in App Store fees. What are your thoughts on that, Trey?
Oh, Lord. This is not good. Like, no. Look, this is literally, in my opinion, stealing money from creators. This is not good, man. What the hell are you doing? This is going to lead to a lawsuit, if nothing else. I think it might lead to a bit more than a lawsuit. And it is because I'm sure he's using some sort of algorithm or something like that. It's going to look poorly on technology a little bit too. Yeah. Dude, for everyone's best interest, including yours, take it down. If you want to build podcast, work with creators to offer extensive flipping paid tiers. Other than that, you're messing up. What do you think?
This is stupid. This is the thing that frustrates me. You and I, we're really big into AI. I get that. We like AI. We like utilizing it. I feel that, I personally want it to not hurt the planet, and I want to do things to make that better, right? I get that. But at the end of the day, like, we're making a logo right now. I'm paying, like, probably will end up paying like around $800 or $900 for a specific logo for something that we're doing. Why? Because I want the logo to be fucking mean as shit, and I want it to be good, and I want to pay that to some human for their artistic direction and insight and what they're doing. People that make content deserve to be paid for the content they are making. And and even though Spotify pays shittily, Spotify is still giving them money, right? This is literally taking money out of hand. He's literally getting money from all of these people that are making content. Like, he should be sued.
He really should. He really
Absolutely.
should.
He should be 100% sued. It looks like the app works like a little differently. In the test that Pod News Daily did, the app downloads the MP3 files directly to the phone each time and looks in the logs like a web browser, specifically Safari. So it's going to be hard to block without blocking every web browser out there. It correctly skipped past our sponsor ads and read in our daily podcast, but in the description, it's very careful not to suggest that it skips ads at all, just that it can automatically skip past the interruptions other listeners skip. Here's the thing. If you want free content, you should listen to ads. If you don't want free content, then you're going to have to pay for it. Those are the two models to keep it going. Even if it's not people trying to get millions and millions of dollars of profit, they're trying to do, most creators want enough money so that they don't have to work a full-time job. That can be their job, and that they can make really good content. So you should listen to ads or pay the creator not to have ads by getting involved with their Patreon or whatever they have going on. And if it's a company like this, some of that money should go back to the people that are making the content, because this guy's not making anything.
Yeah, completely.
All right. Noisier finds growth by turning literary classics into podcasts. Noisier is proving that podcast audiences are willing to embrace more than original shows. The UK-based producer says its serialized adaptations of classic literature have topped 50 million annual listens. Jesus. Offering fresh evidence that podcast creators can also successfully expand into audiobooks by distributing them through the same apps listeners already use every day. The milestone marks the latest evolution for Noisier, which built its reputation on cinematic history podcasts before bracing its audio adaptations of literary classics. Rather than releasing traditional long-form audiobooks, Noisier breaks works into podcast-length episodes available across major podcast platforms. The strategy is designed to lower the barrier to entry for listeners while capitalizing on established podcast listening habits. Its growing audiobook catalog includes Sherlock Holmes short stories narrated by Hugh Bonneville, Pride and Prejudice narrated by Julie Andrews, and Charles Dickens ghost stories narrated by David Schwett. I think this is really cool. I am excited for this. Trey, what are your thoughts?
I think I'm going to have to go and check out their Sherlock Holmes, because the only time I've watched or listened to that is Stephen Fry. This sounds like something that could be really good. For a second, I was a little bit iffy because, I mean, I wouldn't have thought of it, but it's smart. It really is smart, because the writing is there for you. So it's a really good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a great idea. And I think that they're doing it the right way by having people read them and not having AI read them. Where I do think that AI can play a part in some of this, just because we have so much content and we need to catalog and organize and get as much content as we can into audio form. But I think that this is really, really cool. All right, moving along. Podcast Pragmatic ad sellers bet transcript intelligence will unlock more ad dollars. ComScore is rolling out transcript level targeting and measurement across some of the podcast industry's biggest distribution and ad tech platforms. A move designed to make audio buying more closely resemble the precision advertisers have come to expect from display, video, and connected TV. The company says its Proximic by ComScore's platform is now integrated with Cast, Libsyn, SiriusXM, Spotify. Hold on. And Triton Digital allowing advertisers to buy podcasts and streaming audio inventory based on what is actually being discussed in individual episodes, rather than relying on show level genres or broad audience demographics. The new capability analyzes episode transcripts to classify content for brand safety, suitability, and contextual relevance that allows advertisers to align campaigns with specific topics and conversations while avoiding content that may not fit their brands. I think that that's great. This is a quote from Jessica Traynor, head of partnerships at Proximic. Brands recognize that podcasts are having a cultural moment, which is very true based off of what we were just talking about. By delivering transcript level intelligence based on what is actually being said during an episode, Proximic is helping advertisers invest the confidence and reach listeners in the moments and environments that actually matter, which I think is really, really cool. I just don't know. Does it feed it up like its own? Does it pick when it feeds it up? Because like with Megaphone, we pick when the dynamic ad is going to go in. This makes it sound like they're going to look at the transcript, find out where it fits in, and then feed up the audio ad where the transcript believes, where the AI, I'm assuming, believes that it should go.
Yeah, that's a really strange. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't feel like they made that clear. Maybe that's what it is. I think that that's not a terrible idea. Obviously, I think that creators are going to know, but in aspects where they don't have any of that, like for instance, some platforms, they let you set like, I want 2, 3, 4 ads in my show, and you don't have to set the thing, but they will kind of just choose for you. Maybe that's the sort of thing.
All right, here, let's look at this. Let's see here.
The advertising industry is undergoing revolutionary changes to user privacy and data regulations. Signal loss, a cookieless world, mobile limitations all make marketers' jobs harder. Proximic by ComScore's predictive audiences finds your target without needing to rely on user identifiers like cookies. We pioneered the industry's first ID-free audience targeting capability, built on the principles of scale, privacy, and precision. What sets predictive audiences apart? We're backed by ComScore's currency-grade data and double opt-in panels, where we observe the totality of content consumption across screens. This, combined with our AI contextual engine and deep machine learning technology, results in the only solution able to reach any audience based on any definition without ID-based scale limitations or privacy concerns. Helping you reach more consumers with relevant messaging while respecting user privacy. Proximic's predictive audiences is the incremental reach that you've been missing. Contact us to learn more.
So what I think it might be doing, maybe it's looking at the context of the transcript, and then based off of that, it's making an assessment of the people that are listening rather than looking at cookies. And then it's using that to feed up the advertising.
Right.
What kind of other solution? Well, that's interesting. We should look into that for fun. Why not? For media buyers, for media sellers. Media buyers, media sellers. What are we? A media buyer? Gosh, I love ads. I don't know. I know a lot of people hate ads, but I don't have a problem with them. Maybe consumerism has the best of me. Maybe I'm the targeted consumer. Here's the reason why I like ads. And the more that data, and I get that there's a lot of stuff about them having our data and selling our data, but I live a busy life, super busy life. I want them to know as much about me because they can like show me the pair of socks that I want. And I'm like, oh, I need to get new socks. I should buy these socks. This makes the most sense. I don't know. What do you think, Trey? How do you feel about advertising?
So for the most part, I am not a big on advertisers. I do feel like I think advertising is going to be most. I think advertising is best when you are actually looking for the product and are actually in the market. For the majority of the advertisements that I get served, I'm not in the market, and that's mainly the thing of that sort of thing. And also, I think that the majority of advertisements put forth by certain people of office really should have their advertisers tied up. But
all right, Lol.ai launches AI tool to rescue noisy podcast recordings. Podcast producers struggling with noisy interviews or flawed recordings have another AI-powered editing option. Audio processing company Lala.ai has introduced Lynx, a new speech denoising model built specifically to isolate voices and remove background sounds from spoken word recordings. Unlike audio separation tools adapted for music processing, Lol.ai says Lynx was designed exclusively for speech restoration. The model removes background music, crowd noise, traffic, mechanical sounds, and other acoustic interference while preserving the spoken voice, making it aimed squarely at podcasters, journalists, video creators, and other producers working outside studio environments. In speech denoising, you're not separating things that were recorded together by design. You're trying to recover a voice from an environment that was never meant to be a recording studio. Product owner and co-founder Anik Progorsky said, "We spent a year building a model that treats that as the actual platform, not a side case of something else." I think that this is really great. The only thing that I have that my concern is that from a business standpoint, I feel that companies like the biggest players in the digital audio workstation are going to be Avid, which is Pro Tools. You have Studio One, which is now Fender, which Fender's a big guitar player, and then you have Steinberg, which is Cubase, and then you have Adobe, which is Audition. I would say that those are four of the largest digital audio workstation companies. The problem is once they start integrating AI, which I feel that Avid is going to be more prone to integrate that AI before and Audition by Adobe before Cubase is, because I have Cubase Pro and I haven't seen any reminiscence of AI being integrated into it. I feel that this is going to be difficult because once they start integrating the AI, then why would you go out and buy a separate service when it's already in your digital audio workstation to do this?
Right, and that is absolutely a fair point. However, one of the things is they didn't like this isn't like anything using a normal LLM or other AI. They trained a model, and as someone who's actually had to deal with this, if this, depending on how this is priced, I could see people making so much use of this.
Because I think it'll be super useful right now. And also, too, people that don't use digital audio workstations just have regular audio files that they need to fix. This could be super beneficial. I'm trying to see what the pricing looks like.
Well, back when I was doing a gaming social media, I had the hardest time.
Hold on, Grandma's here. Hold on. I wish I had. All right, that's rocked out, Grandma.
For you.
Is he?
Yeah.
I played the rock music for you. $10.50 though, Trey. Not bad.
That is not bad at all. If I go back into gaming, I will be I would probably use that because stupid screen recording on tablets or iPads. I mean, they don't separate the audio streams.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's one of the other biggest problems. That's a good point as well. Absolutely. All right, let's get into some other pop culture news. We have a large show, so we have 20 minutes left. Let's knock some of these out. All right. Insomniac interview reveals Marvel's Wolverine takes place when the X-Men don't yet exist. Marvel Wolverine Spider-Man developer Insomniac's upcoming action game launches in less than 2 months, but we still know very little about its world and story. Sony's recent summer showcase gave us our first look at the gameplay. We played this a little bit earlier as well. More specifically, it reveals that the X-Men don't exist yet. Marvel's Wolverine, which will release on PlayStation 5 consoles this September 15th, is set in a world where the X-Men don't yet exist. While humanity knows about superheroes like Spider-Man, mutants are still largely living in shadows. Which brings up a good question, Trey. Since Spider-Man is an Insomniac game, and do you think that they'll cross these at some point in time?
That would be a cool idea. It would be. So that would be really interesting because then you'd have a Marvel Cinematic Universe and a Marvel game universe, all in Insomniac. That would be kind of fun.
That would be really cool. But any other thoughts on the Wolverine?
Nope, not that I haven't just shared earlier.
All right, well, the dogs are going crazy, so that's exciting. Really love this. A new Avatar series has divided the fan base with a cool premise, but iffy animation that looks fan-made. I think that animation looks cool. In theory, it should be an exciting time to be a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender. The beloved Nickelodeon martial arts series has a gorgeous new movie, a pretty good, if flawed, fighting game, and a brand new animated series called Avatar: Seven Heavens coming later this year. Here is the official teaser.
Why do you look like me?
Laura needs to be prepared, because long ago our ancestors weren't. And the Avatar let us down.
Humanity is not ready for the Avatar's return. And yet, it's the one thing this world needs the most.
Okay, so you guys are full of
Hold
it.
on, Trey. I think it's still playing something. Hold on, I did something bad. I ruined it. Oh, nothing happened. That probably meant something to you, but didn't mean shit to me. So moving right along.
Okay, and Jeremy, I apologize. You won't have any idea what I'm talking about.
Correct.
But Vachu's
I
a
was
thing,
calling him
seems
Ong.
like. Yes, you were. That's okay. I think most people who haven't seen the series, once you watch the series, I think that you're going to fall in love with it. I genuinely do. I know that you purchased the DVD or the Blu-ray set, so I'm really looking forward to hearing your thoughts on it when you get a chance. But yeah, I actually think that this was not simple at all. It wasn't like fan made as they're pointing it out. I actually thought it looked fantastic. I think it's a different art style, but it looks fantastic.
I thought that looked amazing.
I agree.
All right, well, I'll have to check it out. I'm assuming you're going to be watching it.
Yes, I might be waiting a month or two until I can get what do you call it, Paramount back. But yes.
Oh, you can just borrow my account. I'll just give it to everybody. Everybody can borrow my Paramount Plus, so we can stick it to those freaking Ellisons. All right, new Gundam anime from Ghost in the Shell. Sax director will directly tie into Bandai's Gundam Rogue Orbit game. I'm really excited about that. I'm also really excited about putting this screen back up here. All right, Kinji Kamiyama, the legendary filmmaker behind Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, Blade Runner, Black Lotus, and The Lord of the Rings. The War of the Rohirrim has been, I probably said that wrong, but not a big fan of Lord of the Rings, has been announced as the person helming the new multimedia universe, Gundam RG project, which will officially kick off in 2027 with the release of a new anime titled Mobile Suit Gundam RGXARX0. As revealed last night at the 2026 San Diego Comic-Con, the Next Generation Gundam initiative sounds like a sort of soft reset for the Gundam universe, with Bandai Namco describing the RG project as a shared universe that will tie several upcoming Gundam projects together across anime and video games. Are you guys ready for this world premiere trailer from San Diego Comic-Con, then I'm going to say that we did it first. Screw them.
Sola.
I don't know if they're supposed to be said. There it is.
That looks awesome.
That looks freaking amazing. That looks so freaking good. That and the new Airbender series looks fantastic or amazing, as we like to say. Love it. Super excited for that. Really excited for that.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
And I'm really excited for that. Maria was showing me some food that she might be cooking. I'm really excited for that because I'm so freaking hungry right now. I'm so hungry. So hungry, Trey. I don't know if you know how hungry I am, but it's a lot. Right? Did you have lunch? You woke up right before the show, you said, right?
Yeah, it wasn't too long before. I had a couple of pieces of pizza from the night before. I'm okay.
All right, moving into some fun LG news. It looks like LG Electronics' latest 1200 PC monitor model is really putting the monitor into monitoring users without their consent. Jesus. As the consumer electronics manufacturer has been forced to address complaints that the product is wiretapping its owners and installing adware that advertises McAfee trials on users' PC. This follows a lengthy investigation into LG's 34GX900A-B Ultra Gear monitor by Gamers Nexus, which was contacted by several of its viewers after reports started popping up online about the monitor automatically installing McAfee adware when connected to PCs. Gamers Nexus was able to prove that simply hooking up the monitor to your computer results in the LG Monitor app installer being installed on that computer via Windows Update. As noted in this report, at no point in the process is the user informed that this program is being installed. Worse still, the LG Monitor app installer is automatically granted access to all systems resources and your internet connection upon installation. The program will also blast users with a free 30-day trial offer of McAfee, the antivirus company that, according to security.org, shows devices, collects extensive user data, and most heinously of all, changes the default search to Yahoo. Ooh, gross. And it still gets worse from here, as Gamers Nexus investigation revealed LG's consent requirement, which users automatically agree to when their monitor software is installed, updated, states that users must notify household members and guests that they may be recorded in compliance with the applicable wiretapping, eavesdropping, and privacy laws. Surely, though, as long as you don't buy LG's new 1200 PC monitor and stick it to its older models, this won't be an issue. But that's not true. According to Gamers Nexus tests, it turns out that the LG Monitor app installer is now installing itself via older LG monitors too. And it's not just the Windows PCs that are getting bombarded with ads. As The Verge's Tom Warren stated on X, that even though he had every option for promotions disabled in the system settings on his LG VT, he still got a pop-up stating that he could enjoy 15% off every travel trip via the LG Travel Plus app. What are your thoughts, Trey? Maybe that's some hardcore advertising that they're doing here.
Nope. This is so far above below the flipping pole. It is, and I'm going to go off a little bit. Jeremy, I'm going to, because you also are, like, you get into like some of the political stuff in Arizona. I wrote up a thing on EULAs and products and how they need to be segmented by tier. I'm going to send that to you because I sent it to my person and he hasn't said a dang thing about it. This is so scummy. If you have an LG monitor, don't buy one first. And two, do not use, even if you have a Mac, do not use the LG monitor app. If it is the last thing you do, find a third-party option because this is ridiculous. And the fact that they have that in the EULA, that you can have your data stolen, is such a gross.
Yeah, I don't know what LG's thinking here in this specific situation. Like that, I mean, there's one thing when you're like listening to content, but if we're moving into a world where every time we do anything with anything, we're going to be bombarded with ads, that's kind of an overreach in my personal opinion. So LG needs to get their shit together, but I would never buy LG. I'm a Samsung guy through and through, and you're an Apple guy through and through. But Apple doesn't make monitors, do they?
They do. I don't expect them to, because they are very big into the privacy thing. I don't expect them to do this, but they could.
Yeah. Miyamoto explains why Nintendo is making so many remakes like Zelda Ocarina of Time. Nintendo legend Shigeru Miyamoto has defended the company's current focus on remakes of its older games when speaking to Japanese outlet Famitsu via Nintendo Everything. The latest edition of the weekly magazine features an interview with Mario's dad, in which he claims that the company's endless remakes of its older properties in fact leads to these series' longevity and more entries being made. It's clearly nothing new for Nintendo to remake its older games for its newer consoles. Classic titles have been reappearing on newer devices since the Game Boy Advance, and heck, the original Switch's early lineup was primarily ports of Wii U games no one had played. But during the Switch's first year, despite brand new titles like Donkey Kong Bonanza, Fire Emblem, Fortune's Weave, and Pokemon Pokopia, among many more, the recent heavy focus has been on Star Fox and will now shift to Zelda, leaning into the notion of Nintendo being something of a remake factory. Miyamoto addressed this topics while speaking at Famitsu, making the argument that there's only a short window in which to capture many people's gaming attentions, and by regularly spritzing up older games, you're capturing new audiences for those franchises, which I agree with. And as translated by Nintendo Everything, he said, some people might say there are a lot of remakes, but after 5 years, a lot of people have outgrown games and stopped playing them. Young people today don't have the opportunity to play games from 10 years ago, so remaking them to be more playable and releasing them again is a good way to meet that demand. And I think that this goes back to something we talked to about Nintendo's plan to introduce people to characters vis-a-vis their movies. This is a way for them to introduce older stuff and then continue those lines of games. And that's why we've been getting Mario games for 30 years and people still keep buying them.
Yeah, and I think that this is kind of a thing, industry-wide thing, not just even video games, but movies too. People whine at Disney. People whine at the new or the remake of the God of War series. Like all of that stuff is just like it. And ideally, at some point, it would be nice if that media was made like open and available to people. But I don't expect that to happen. But This is not bad either, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I don't think this is bad. I think this is fine. I think that, and also too, at the end of the day, Nintendo's a publicly traded company in Japan, so they got to make profit for profit holders. And one of the things that they could do, I guess, they could take a little, what's the word? A little sign from China, or a little, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a little, they could steal this from China because it looks like AI is transforming China's micro dramas. So let's take a look, because my three favorite places to watch movies now is Chinese dramas, Taiwanese dramas, and Korean dramas, and then Japanese probably. But I'm in love with Korean dramas now. We'll blame that on Maria, my partner. But let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on in China.
Why do I get the feeling something's watching me?
Microdramas, or Duangju, are short-form video series made to be watched on a phone. With rapid twists and over-the-top storylines, they've become addictive viewing in China. Like love triangles and secret lives.
Almost 12.
Wait!
Or an assistant who transforms into a kitten.
Wait, I can't go with him.
These sanitized videos are part of a $14 billion juggernaut in China. and just as binge-worthy in the US, where according to eMarketer, audiences will triple to 45 million viewers per month by 2028. Here, the vertical industry has its own booming ecosystem of studio factories like this, catering to production with an assembly line of ready-made sets.
It's not just the plot twists that are moving fast, so is production, with crews able to move between time periods and transport people to different scenes all under one roof. Meaning crews can shoot dozens of episodes in a single day.
But earlier this year, a new player entered the picture and started to change everything. Artificial intelligence is transforming how microdramas are now being written, produced, even performed. Tens of thousands of AI-only titles are being added to platforms every month.
People who watch mini drama, actually, they can easily change to watch AI mini drama.
And they don't care. They don't make the distinction between real people and AI characters.
Most of them, they don't care.
With AI, filmmakers who used to hire a production crew can now create an entire series on a computer.
In AI, if you want to have like a sunny day, it's going to be a sunny day. If you want to rain outside, it's going to rain outside.
You create the character, you create the locations, you control everything.
Right. Yeah, as long as you have the image in your head.
If AI-generated actors like Tilly Norwood point to entertainment's future, China's microdrama industry is showing how quickly it's unfolding. In Zhengzhou, considered the vertical filming capital here, studios built inside office towers and shopping malls, often with government subsidies, are now doing less. Wu Hongbing says compared to last year, his studio business is down nearly 70% because AI is cheaper than using human actors in real locations. We're a bit worried, he says, but not panicking yet. American actor Anina Net was in China for a few years of the microdrama boom.
Suddenly now, boom, everything is AI. Everybody's sitting home. Everybody is thinking, how is this going to go forward?
It's not to say that AI has completely erased the need for live action here. Actor Liu Yang says his work is picking up. I think as long as phones exist, things like short videos will always have an audience, he says. Like a microdrama itself, AI
Typical
could be
of elves.
delivering the industry's biggest plot yet, unfolding in real time, its ending still unwritten.
The bigger story is just how quickly microdramas and AI are colliding. Everyone we spoke with in the industry in China pointed to the same thing, that live action work was down dramatically earlier this year, just as new tools like C-Dance were being rolled out. And here in the US, SAG-AFTRA, the Actors Union, they're trying to get ahead of that. They're pushing for protections for performers' digital likeness, because the question is no longer whether AI is going to change entertainment. It already is.
Yeah, my gosh.
Yeah, but does that mean we have to consume it or no?
Well,
They should remake those people as AI. That's what I think should happen. Trey, where do you watch these videos that are movies that, I know we did a short on one of the big ones that is happening here in the US, but is it through social, like TikToks and so forth, or is it on their websites, or where do you get them?
Some of them are on TikToks. There are specific websites, like apps you can download that have them. I don't know any of them off the top of my head. Although I would be curious, I do want to raise an interesting point that I've heard made recently. I have heard one content creator say that he's very excited about AI movie making. And I know, don't get mad at me, creators. I am not campaigning or saying anything about anyone needing to be replaced or anything like that. But he kind of made it out, or not made it out, he kind of explained that he saw the AI as kind of a way for people to kind of make stuff without the need of the kind of entrenched upper echelon of the Hollywood world. A way for people to build with substantially lower budgets and actually have work that is something without having to, like, for instance, some of these actors, you have to pay them $1,000 a day. Not many people can do that unless you want to get a loan.
Yeah, even for like I did on my Age of Jeremy, I sat down with Annie Landers for a conversation about junior achievement and the future of junior achievement in Biztown and financial literacy in Arizona, and that cost me well over close to about $2,000 to do that shoot. If I had other productive assistants there, if I had other people to do that, it could be very hefty. I mean, that was just one other person, videographer, and then doing the editing, and he gave me a discount on it. So this can get very hefty, and AI gives the opportunity for people to get into creating a lot cheaper. And unfortunately, that's the truth of what AI is doing. And it does, I mean, it can suck. It can't, but again, there's all different kinds of art that's out there. And so you would have to find your lane and maybe stick with it. And there's other people that might use AI as well. But Trey, that's it for today. It's 5:00 p.m. Arizona time. Closing thoughts, closing words, some calls to action, sir.
All right. So if you are doing content creation or anything like that, make sure you put something out on your likeness or something like that. I don't know exactly how that's going to lay out, but keep an eye out. I just wanted to add that to our last point. I don't have anything else. I just love these shows so much. This is genuinely the highlight of my week. If you guys are interested in my Substack, go to creatortrade.substack.com. You guys can find me at just about any social media, including Blue Sky, although I do not get on there much, at Creator Trade. And back to you, Jeremy.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And again, go and check out Age of Jeremy wherever you get your podcast. Follow me on Instagram at Age of Jeremy. Join my broadcast channel, Dope Insights and Updates. You can also follow me on X at Age of Jeremy. And Trey and I are working on some other content for you in more pop culture, less podcasting space. We'll be bringing that to X Spaces. So go to X, follow us on X at Age of Radioverse. We have about 298 people on there. So we're getting back in that game, and we look forward to everything that we're doing. And thank you so much for watching. Share this with a friend, like and subscribe. And with that, as I always say, be thankful, grateful, and kind. And we'll talk with you soon. Bye.